The fentanyl overdose crisis is front and center on Capitol Hill today as parents and activists use their voices to demand action. And starting today, millions of Americans who rely on federal help to buy food will no longer get extra benefits. This is News 3 Now at noon. Good afternoon, I'm Mark Kane. Breaking this afternoon, the FBI is investigating after a UW-Madison student allegedly threatened to bring guns into Bascom Hall after his date canceled on him. 26-year-old Thomas Hansen has been charged with making terroristic threats. A criminal complaint shows the FBI got a tip last Thursday about comments Hansen made on the social media app Yik Yak. After a date canceled on him, Hansen says he's getting to the point where he should stop trying to date and start sneaking guns into crowded school buildings. Another comment read, "Don't go to Bascom Hall next week." In an FBI interview, Hansen said his comments were a joke. A gun and ammunition were later found in his apartment. Hansen will be back in court later this month. Let's head to the Weather Center now. Meteorologist Greg Barnhart has a look at our first warning forecast on this first day of meteorological spring.
Yep, winter's done. No, unfortunately, it's not. But overall, we got some skies are starting to clear out the cloud cover. You can see Platteville starting to see more sun. That's the trend we're going to see for all locations in southern Wisconsin right now. Satellite shows there's a low spinning up to the north. You can see the rotation to Minneapolis. But we're seeing clouds beginning to push eastward, so more sun for all areas is expected today. And since we started out already warm, it's going to be actually getting pretty warm today. There's your precipitation. We had a little bit to the north, but that is pretty much it for this system as it fades away. Temperatures right now already mid-40s, so definitely going to see 50 in a lot of areas just because of where we're at right now. And we zoom in the Dane County area, we're ranging from about 44 in Sauk City to almost 45 in Middleton right now. So overall, really warm day. There's your temperature change. You can see ahead of this quite a bit warmer, especially east. A little bit colder to the west, but overall not too bad. Two things we're watching. One, obviously that system to the northeast is beginning to push out. We have an alert day because we're watching a system now once again in the southwest corner of the U.S., which is dumping a lot of snow and rain once again in the Four Corners area. That's a system that will be slowly beginning to lift towards our area by the time we get to Friday. That's the one that we're keeping an eye on for the alert day. And really right now, this is for probably south and east of Madison for accumulating snow. It looks like Friday into Friday evening. We'll break down what to expect and how much, and an update on those status of these rivers that were a little bit high from all the water we had recently.
All right, we'll check back in a bit, Greg. Thank you. And many Sierra Nevada mountain residents are stranded without power as that winter storm that Greg just mentioned continues to blanket California. Overnight blizzard conditions dropped 2 to 3 inches of snow per hour. Sheriff's deputies in Northern California are using snowmobiles to check on trapped residents after many major roadways were shut down. In Yosemite National Park, rangers say some areas got up to 15 feet of snow. The storm also brings threats of heavy rain and mudslides to lower regions. A House hearing looking into the fentanyl crisis in the U.S. came with some emotional testimony from people who have lost loved ones to the drug. Nicole D'Antonio tells us in this sharply divided Congress, the potential solutions to the problem fell along political lines.
Congressional members listened intently as Erin Rockwell described the pain of losing her 19-year-old son Logan to a drug overdose.
Losing Logan was like a bomb going off in the middle of our family that we had built our life around. This explosion killed our son, and he killed Caden's brother. This bomb, this weapon is called fentanyl.
Fentanyl has become the leading cause of death for Americans ages 18 to 45, according to the CDC. And most of the drugs enter the U.S. through the southern border.
The cartels in Mexico have evolved quickly, from drug cartels to transnational criminals to now terrorists like we've never seen ever. Al-Qaeda, ISIS, Hezbollah, they're not killing this amount of Americans.
While politicians on both sides of the aisle agree there needs to be stronger policies to stem the flow of fentanyl into the U.S., the solutions have become very political. Republicans are using the crisis to say more needs to be done to strengthen the border.
To ignore the smuggling that occurs between our ports of entry is simply irresponsible and dangerous.
While Democrats say immigrants are not the problem.
While it is true that a great deal of fentanyl comes into the United States from Mexico, it is overwhelmingly U.S. citizens, not migrants, who are bringing it in.
But Erin Rockwell had a message for both sides.
United we stand, divided we fall. United we stand, divided we fall.
Meanwhile, the CDC says more than 100,000 Americans die from opioid overdoses every year. Nicole D'Antonio, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
And there was also plenty of discussion about the U.S. policy with China, where the majority of components for fentanyl are made. Developing now, at least 36 people are dead after a head-on collision between a passenger and freight train in Greece. It's the country's deadliest rail disaster in more than 50 years. Several cars flew off the tracks and at least 3 burst into flames. Rescue crews are combing through the debris looking for survivors. Many had to break through train car windows to escape. Right now, it's unclear what caused the collision. Authorities arrested the station master in charge of signals on the tracks and detained at least 2 more people for questioning. The country's transport minister also resigned, saying it was out of respect for the victims. Millions of Americans who rely on federal help to buy food will no longer receive extra pandemic-era benefits. The Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, went into effect about 3 years ago during the pandemic and helped keep 4.2 million Americans out of poverty. But starting today, some 30 million people relying on the federal food stamp program will see their monthly benefits shrink by at least $95 and potentially more than $250 for others. Now, food banks across the country are bracing for an increased demand.
I never thought in my wildest dreams that we would see an increase of almost double the amount of people who are visiting our agency partners on the ground for food.
To help offset costs, experts recommend reaching out to your state human services agency and claiming all allowable deductions. Also look into the Women, Infants, and Children program, or WIC. There's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. Thousands of sports SUVs dating back to 2014 are now being recalled. Also, why 6 pairs of sneakers up for auction are being compared to the Mona Lisa. That's next in the Money Watch Report.
You're watching News 3 Now at noon.
Have you heard? We've outgrown our space. Again! Save up to half off floor samples and special orders at Dwellings Construction Sale. Dwellings, interior design and home furnishings. Still Madison's best kept $150 secret.
The Big Share and Online Day of Giving is March 7th. Advance social and environmental justice by supporting the nearly 70 nonprofit members of Community Shares of Wisconsin. Even a $5 donation can make change happen. Donate now through March 7th at thebigshare.org.
A convicted felon kidnapped and raped a 15-year-old girl, abducting her off the street in broad daylight. Judge Janet Protasewicz could have sentenced him to 20 years. Instead, she put him back on our streets.
What detractors would say is you having been soft on a violent sexual crime.
I would say that that's ridiculous.
Judge Protasewicz puts our families at risk, and putting her on our Supreme Court, that's what's ridiculous. Fair Courts America is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Lake Ridge may be a new name, but it isn't a new bank. It's one built on over a century of community commitment. One equipped with all the knowledge and resources of 145 collective years of experience. Monona Bank and State Bank of Cross Plains are coming together as one. As Lake Ridge Bank, we're doing more together for you.
Hello, I'm Roman Ryan of Ryan Funeral Homes. As a locally owned and operated funeral home, it's important to know that not all funeral homes are the same. Some other Madison area funeral homes are actually owned by corporations based outside of the United States. A corporately owned funeral home is focused on the bottom line, making services more costly. We have served local families for more than 80 years, and our priority is investing in the community and your family. In your time of need, Ryan Funeral Homes are here for you.
Spring is in the air, and you know what that means. It's Feldco season.
Feldco season. It means 50% off windows with no money down, no payments, and no interest until 2024. So you can replace those eyesores without breaking the bank. It means getting the windows you want fast, so your home's ready for the warmer weather ahead. It's the season of home renewal. It's Feldco season.
This offer won't last long. Hurry. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
Have you heard? We've outgrown our space. Again! Save up to half off floor samples and special orders at Dwellings Construction Sale. Dwellings, interior design, and home furnishings. Still Madison's best kept $150 secret.
The Republican-led House Foreign Affairs Committee is expected to vote today on a bill that would give the president the power to ban the popular app TikTok and other apps. If it passes the committee, the measure would then go to the full House for a vote. It comes after the White House announced TikTok must be removed from all federal devices in the next 30 days. A move that was criticized by Chinese government officials. Some Democrats have criticized the House GOP bill as too broad. On Tuesday, the European Parliament moved to ban TikTok from its staff devices. An important consumer alert about an ignition problem that can shut down an SUV's engine while driving. Nissan is recalling more than 800,000 Rogue and Rogue Sport SUVs that have a jackknife-style ignition key. The models go back to 2014, and the company says the key can collapse into a folded position and inadvertently stop the engine. Nissan says it's not aware of any crashes or injuries related to that glitch. And they're being compared to the Mona Lisa, the Dynasty collection. 6 pairs of sneakers worn by NBA legend Michael Jordan in each of the Chicago Bulls championship wins in the 1990s is now up for sale by Sotheby's. The selling price could shatter records. The collection can be seen in person in Dubai through the end of this week. That's your CBS News Money Watch report. For more, log on to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Chanel Call.
Looking at Wall Street at the noon hour, the Dow Industrial's up 63. The NASDAQ, though, down 27. The S&P 500 down about 4.5. Our call for action volunteers are in the building, taking your consumer complaints and taking action on your behalf. You're taking a live look at the Call for Action studio. Volunteers are here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so you can call for action right now at 608-270-2833 or submit a claim anytime at channel3000.com/call-for-action. Up next, Pam has today's egg prices, and Greg has our first warn forecast. And then today on Live at 4, CBS travel reporter Wendy Gillette shows us how to get deals on airline tickets. That's coming up today at 4.
You are a friend, a neighbor, a family at heart. We are Gruber Law Offices, your ally and your advocate. If you've been injured in a trucking accident, you need Gruber Law Offices to fight for you. One call, that's all.
DePaco Credit Union protects your well-being, supports you through life's many surprises. Because when our members love life, it makes a brighter community for all. DePaco can help you be well.
There are so many things we take for granted, and along with them, sometimes we take the people who depend on them for granted too. How can they survive with record increases in their basic cost of living? And through no fault of their own, they're being left behind. If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our energy and water providers are working together to keep you safely in your home. You may not ask for it, but we're here to help.
Dan Kelly won't keep our community safe. As a lawyer, Kelly defended child sex predators who posed as ministers in order to prey on vulnerable young girls. They lured young children to locations they believed to be safe, only to sexually assault and molest them. And Dan Kelly defended those monsters. Do you want someone like that on the Supreme Court? Dan Kelly, an extremist who doesn't care about us.
After a serious truck crash, you need a team who knows how to handle trucking cases and gets results. You need Gruber Law Offices. There's never a fee until we win. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
A major winter storm, and we warned you first.
We're tracking a mix of sleet, freezing rain, and snow.
For accurate, up-to-the-minute coverage before, during, and after.
Those side streets are a real mess.
Trust News 3 Now, first warn weather, keeping you ahead of the storms.
On
on the Jennifer Hudson Show.
Joe Coy, comedian or clown? What was it like when you told your mom you wanted to be a comedian?
She's like, a clown? You want to be a clown?
And Grammy winner Ashley McBride.
On the next Jennifer Hudson Show at 3. The Farm Report is sponsored by Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
And let's check in now with Pam from the Midwest Farm Report, looking to get to 50 today.
I'll take every bit of it, every bit of it. I know it's sloppy, but I'll gladly, it's going to cut our maple syrup season maybe a little bit short, but I think everybody is ready for a little turnaround in temperatures and in scenery. I had my ag weather guy on my radio show this morning say he saw his first robin yesterday, so I like that sound. Well, the sound of the legislation is good news for our Wisconsin dairy farmers. Yesterday, Wisconsin Senator Tammy Baldwin reintroduced her Dairy Pride Act. It's basically to try to get involved in the labeling of the artificial, plant-based beverages that show up in the marketplace that want to compete against milk. She has done this before, introduced this legislation that would require non-dairy products made from nuts, algae, etc., to no longer be labeled as milk, yogurt, or cheese. The good news about it this time around, Senator Baldwin told me she's very happy to see the bipartisan support she's picked up, not just around our region, but across the United States. So we'll watch and see what happens with the Dairy Pride Act as the dairy industry stays engaged in this conversation. I do want to remind dairy farmers, your voice equally as important to reach out to your senators and representatives out in Washington, D.C. They've got an open comment period for about another 50 days through the Food and Drug Administration. They want to hear from you. One thing I did not want to hear is the passing of Eric Cooley. He was the director of our UW Discovery Farms program. It was announced that Eric passed away after a battle with cancer. He was just 51 years old, leaves behind a wife and 2 young kids and a thriving on-farm research system that he had been managing. His services will be this weekend up in Sturgeon Bay. Really sorry to lose Eric as our director of UW Discovery Farms. Barrel cheese today in Chicago down 3 3/4 cents at $1.55 1/4. 40-pound block cheese down a penny at $1.90. Double A butter dropped a full 7 today at $2.38 a pound. We pick up heat and we lose pennies on butter, but like you said earlier, I'll take a taste of 50 because I'm sure it's not necessarily going to stick around for a long time.
I think a taste is the operative word there. All right, Pam. See you tomorrow. And here's Greg now with a complete look at your forecast.
Yeah, we're just going to take a quick look at some of the rivers since we had a lot of the rain come through the system, and it's getting through now. A lot of the places are cresting at the moment, like the Pecatonic River near Martinstown. That's one to be keeping there of. It should be peaking here tomorrow in minor flood stage. It already did at Darlington. We also got the Fox River to the southeast. It's in minor flood stage. Some of those areas, like I said, and the Sugar one, too, is also peaking around minor flood, just minor flood, probably through the next 24 hours, and then it should start falling. All the other areas pretty much reached action stage or less, and they've all started to fall down. So we got that through the system. Overall, the big picture, we've got this system that's really weak coming through here. Like I said, most of the precipitation with this is to the north. The one that we're keeping an eye on, this one, is the one in the southwest. Once again, that's going to take its time to get across. Going to be doing some severe weather in the Southern Plains, Art-Latex area, and then pose a snow or rain problem for us as we get closer to Friday. Overall, if we time this out, you can see what's left of north. It's going to kind of spin its way to the east. We'll see cloud cover increase tonight. Once again, low clouds, but we'll see a brief cool down tomorrow with more cloud cover, so it won't be as warm today, but still above average. And then we'll track this system. As you can see, a lot of moisture once again being pulled northward. A lot of severe weather going on. How far north this gets yet is still a little bit in question, and that really determines where we have the snow, no snow, or the snow rain line, and how far that'll get. So that's a little bit still in question. Overall today, we should hit 50 for a lot of locations just because we're gonna have some sun this afternoon. We're already fairly warm. You'll see the cloud cover come back in overnight. We will get down a little bit colder than we were last night, probably in the upper 20s to around freezing as you wake up. And then as we watch this system tomorrow, you can see this is the path, one of the paths that it could pull snow further north. The trend has been a little bit further south, so this may be incorrect in that we have a little bit of snow, but most of it, once again, should stay to the southeast of Madison towards Illinois right now. If we look at kind of what we know right now, we do know there's going to be no issues with Friday morning's commute. If we do get snow southeast of Madison, it will be after, probably closer to noon, and then through the evening hours. Latest trend, like I said, is pushing it further south. This could flip around once again, and we definitely are confident the heaviest snow will stay into northern Illinois or further south. What we're not really confident right now is where that snow line ends up. Could it be Madison, a little bit further west? We're not going to expect a lot, but still. Impact of Friday's evening commute, that's probably going to be the time that we're going to be watching closely because that's when the snow should be occurring or close to be ending. And even with the warmer temperatures, there's not a lot of cold air on this. We could see a little bit of rain mixed in with the snow too. We'll have to keep an eye on that. So there's a lot of uncertainties, but we still got the alert day. Right now for snow amounts, generally thinking 1 to 3 around Madison south, Janesville further south, 3 to 6. And this is even probably the northern extent of what we think, and it could actually be further south. Anywhere to the northwest, you may get some light snow, but I think most of the areas up there will just get some cloud cover through Friday with the stronger, breezier northeast winds as that low kind of stays to the south. Overall, once we get past that, it's a fairly quiet weekend once again. Average temp right now is about 38, 39, so we should be right around average. We have another weak system coming us Sunday, Monday, but nothing in the extended right now, at least through Thursday, looks to be anything that poses a big issue with rain or snow. A little bit unsettled, but overall pretty seasonable temperatures.
Keep an eye on this one.
Yes, this one will be a close call, like I said, but I think right now we're getting, the trend is further south, so that's the good news.
All right, we'll take it. Thank you, Greg. Howard's got the perfect thing now to serve on a cheese board or with some chili.
If you've ever had Alabama firecrackers, then you know what all the hullabaloo is about. These crazy popular saltines are so addictive and so simple to make that we've included a version of them in our Ultimate Recipes Across America cookbook. To make them, all you have to do is place some ranch dressing mix in a resealable plastic storage bag, along with a bit of crushed red pepper, garlic and onion powder, and a little vegetable oil. Now we mix this well, add in a couple of sleeves of saltine crackers, and shake it up. By the way, make sure you shake the bag gently so you don't break up the crackers or you'll end up with Alabama firecracker crumbs. Also, locals will tell you to let the crackers sit overnight so that all the flavors really soak in. If you make a big batch today, you can have them on hand whenever you need something surprisingly good. And although they're the perfect go-along with soups and chili, I like them best on their own, as a snack. To get the recipe for our Alabama firecrackers, all you have to do is go online. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a snackable Southern way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
They sound good, too. Coming up, Angie Horkin from the Wisconsin Beef Council shares some Irish-inspired recipes for St. Paddy's Day. That's coming up.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
All you have to do is point.
Yes!
1-800-GOT-JUNK can make it disappear.
And that's why they all start dancing.
Woo!
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
Do you feel stuck living in a cold and drafty home? Well, there's a better solution than just turning up the heat. Because heating your home is by far the most expensive part of your energy bills. At USA Insulation, we fix cold homes. Most houses are built with builder's grade insulation. So when we fill your walls with our high efficiency foam, your house stays warm without turning up the heat, which saves you a lot of money. So call now and save up to 30% with the brand new energy credit.
USA Insulation.
What can Sono Bello do for you? How about a new shape?
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. I just put this dress on that I haven't worn in over 10 years.
New confidence.
I can see a huge difference. Look at this.
New you.
I can wear a little black dress. I feel sexy.
With Sono Bello, you can permanently remove stubborn fat in just one visit. Don't wait. The results I've seen achieved are truly outstanding.
Schedule your free, no-obligation consultation with Sono Bello, America's #1 cosmetic surgery specialist, and find out how you can get $250 off. Sono Bello uses Tri-Sculpt micro-laser liposuction to remove your diet-resistant fat cells permanently for incredible transformations in just one visit.
I have one big regret. I didn't go sooner.
Call 1-888-622-8360 or go to sonobello.com.
Oh, the weather. What's the chance of rain tomorrow?
Ooh, 80%. I make it rain. I make it rain.
Speaking of making it rain, at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison, we have an average 95% payout, which leads you to more chances of playing longer and more chances to win big. Play longer, win more, chances are you're gonna like it.
Ho Chunk Gaming Madison.
All you have to do is point.
Yes! 1-800-GOT-JUNK can make it disappear.
And that's why they all start dancing.
Woo!
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
Angie Horkin from the Wisconsin Beef Council is here. St. Patrick's Day is right around the corner.
Can you believe it?
So what does that mean?
It's March.
Corned beef.
Corned beef. Our favorite month, no, not really. Our second favorite month. I'll say prime rib month. December's our favorite at the Beef Council. But St. Patty's Day's second favorite.
I didn't know there's a prime rib month.
We call it that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is what it looks like?
Yeah, so you can, in the store, you can get 2 different cuts of corned beef. This is a brisket, so you're not buying like a fresh beef brisket. You buy the corned beef brisket, so it's kind of already prepared, it's brined, it's ready for you. But you can buy 2 different cuts. This is a flat cut, or you can get a point. The points are more triangular in shape. Flats are kind of more rectangular. The points might cost a little less per pound. They usually do a little bit.
It's like $5 a pound?
Yeah, $5.99 a pound. This is a 4-pounder. I always dig through and find the biggest ones because they do shrink up a little bit when you cook them, but you need to tenderize these. So corned beef's a labor of love. It takes a while. You know, slow cooker all day, instant pressure cooker, 70 minutes pressurized, but then in a stock pot in the oven. I did this one, corned beef with apple onion saute. Don't have any cabbage today. I did an apple onion saute. The recipe's on the website. It's really good with different apples. And then I cooked this in the stove, or in the oven, in a stock pot with apple cider, onion, garlic, and then the little seasoning pack that comes with. All of our recipes call for that little seasoning pack to put in for flavor.
How long?
3 hours, especially for these big ones. Check it when it's fork tender, it's ready. So literally just try a dinner fork in it. If it comes out with a little resistance, it's tenderized, it's already flavored, it's all ready to go.
All right, these guys.
Reuben bites. Hey, if you happen to have some leftover corned beef.
Which you may.
Well, if you get a 4-pounder, you might. You may, yeah. So I got a little Reuben bite. So I took a little Reuben sandwich and I made it into an appetizer. Just got a little rye bread from the supermarket. And I used deli corned beef in here, and then Swiss cheese, sauerkraut, and a little Thousand Island. Bake them in the oven. Bake the bread with a little Thousand Island, 10 minutes, 425. Then do all your toppings and do like another 5-6 minutes till the Swiss melts. Done. And they're so easy. And we have tons of other appetizers and recipes on beeftips.com. Homepage right there, click on As Seen on TV. And then I got a link to, we have a page called All About Corned Beef. Everything you need to know.
You got about 2 weeks to go, so.
Yes.
And there you go.
Exciting.
Beeftips.com.
Beeftips.com. Check it out.
All right. Here's Greg now. One final check of the forecast.
Yeah, we're going to have more sun coming out this afternoon, so temperatures should get up close to 50 for most areas, so really a nice, mild day. But we'll have winds turn around northwest, so it means it'll be a colder night. We'll probably get back down into around freezing or upper 20s. Definitely more seasonal tomorrow with upper 30s, and then we're tracking that snow potential for Friday.
Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you back here at 4 o'clock. In the meantime, have a great afternoon.